Impact of Simplified Profit Tax for Small-Medium Enterprises on Factual Budget Revenues from this tax. Shpresa ÇELA and Albana GJONI. Small and medium enterprises are the engine of the Albanian economy. They represent 99% of Albanian registered enterprises and generate more than 80% of jobs in the labor market. They also contribute with 60 to 75% of gross domestic product. Studying these enterprises for the great importance they have in the Albanian economy is very valuable, although there have been numerous studies about them by local researchers. We wanted to study how the simplified corporate profit tax rate affects on budget revenues. Does this factor have an impact, and how has it changed over the years? Referring to the official secondary data that we have used by analyzing a considerable period of time from 2010 till 2019, through an econometric model, we will study whether the simplified profit tax is important and if it affects budget revenues. Further, we will see what measures the Albanian government has taken for the post-COVID-19 period to come in help of small and medium enterprises. At the end, we will give our recommendations based on the conclusions of the econometric model. Throughout the transition period, Albanian governments have made continuous efforts through various specific programs to help small-medium enterprises. Many legislative and institutional reforms have been undertaken to support small-medium enterprises over the years. These are some of the reforms that have been made: business registration facilitation, permits and licenses, regulatory impact assessment, RIA, ICT support, free trade agreement, CEFTA, provision of financial instruments, training, electronic communications growth, etc. Albania has embraced all principles of small business, the Act SBA, the implementation of which has already been applied in Albania. In the period that we have studied from 2009 till 2019, the Albanian governments have been applied two different fiscal regimes. The first regime from 2009 till 2014 and the second regime from 2014 till 2019, where it is represented by different political directions. From the first political direction, in the first fiscal period, a flat tax of 10% was imposed until 2014. In 2014, with the change of political direction, the simplified profit tax for small and medium enterprises changed in this period by applying an escalated tax. During the same period that we have studied, the definition of small-medium enterprises has changed too. Until 2014, they were defined according to the criteria of Albanian legislation, while after 2014, they were classified according to European Union principles. During 2019, according to the annual report of local finance, the revenues collected from the simplified profit tax on small businesses were 376.3 million Albanian lek. The percentage of these revenues in the total revenues from local taxes is 2.4%, and they contribute 1.5% to revenues from the sources of the municipalities. Referring to the period taken for the study, as can be seen from the graph below, the revenues collected from the simplified profit tax of small and medium enterprises have decreased. Here below is the graph we mentioned above. This has been the reason that guides us to see if the tax rate of the simplified profit tax of small and medium enterprises affects this income. According to the Fiscal Issues Study Center, ALTAX, the simplified profit tax for small-medium enterprises occupies 0.02% of the gross national product for 2019. Here are the data. The most common criteria for classifying small-medium enterprises by size used by many countries are the number of employees, the turnover, and/or the value of assets. On the other hand, law number 8957 dated 17 October of 2002 on small and medium enterprises used the following classification: micro enterprises with up to 5 employees, small enterprises with 6 to 20 employees, medium enterprises with 21 to 80 employees. The new European Union definition adopted in 2005 considers the three following criteria. First, number of employees, second, annual turnover, and third, annual balance sheet. Based on these three criteria, enterprises are divided into three categories with the following characteristics. The first category, with up to 250 the number of employees, are the medium-sized enterprises with up to 50 million euro of annual turnover and with up to 43 million euro of annual balance sheet. The second category, small enterprises with up to 50 number of employees with up to 10 million euro of annual turnover and with up to 10 million euro of annual balance sheet. And the third category, micro enterprises with up to 10 number of employees with up to 2 million euro of annual turnover and with up to 2 million euro of annual balance sheet. Currently in Albania, the simplified profit tax for small-medium enterprises is determined on the basis of annual turnover. Enterprises that have an annual turnover of up to 5 million Albanian lek have the tax zero. The enterprises with a turnover of 5 to 14 million Albanian lek per year are also considered small enterprises and have the tax rate 5%. And the enterprises with a turnover of over 14 million Albanian lek per year are considered medium and large enterprises. The profit tax rate is 15%. According to the Institute of Statistics, by the end of 2019, the number of active small-medium enterprises was 162,342, almost the same as in 2018. Their main activity is trade, and enterprises in this sector occupy 23% of total enterprises registered during 2019, compared to 23.2% of enterprises registered during 2018. While small enterprises are in great difficulty. According to Instat, during 2019, the number of small enterprises with 1 to up to 4 employees, excluding agriculture sector, was 116.6 thousand in 2019, marking a decrease of 2.5% due to the closure of about 4,000 enterprises. In the trade sector, this decline has been with 2,300 businesses and continues to decline. The same can be said for the industry sector, where there were a decrease of 2,000 less active businesses compared to 2018 as a result of closing their activity, and 600 new businesses less compared to 2018, while the construction sector, telecommunications, and other services have grown. 2019. The government, through the tax administration, collects this tax, which is allocated to 98% in the municipal budget, while only 2% goes to the government budget. Following the measures taken, the current government issued the decision that starting from 2021 to 2029 will remove the profit tax for entities with an annual turnover of up to 14 million Albanian lek per year for small-medium enterprises which were most affected by the pandemic. There are 91,000 enterprises with turnover from 0 to 14 million Albanian lek per year in the whole country, 80% of which, or 72,800 businesses, declare less than 5 million Albanian lek annual turnover. Only a difference of 18,200 enterprises are in the category with annual turnover between 4 to 14 million Albanian lek, who pay a simplified profit tax of 5%. Experts estimate that the head of government is promising the abolition of a tax that actually belongs to the local government, while no alternative is given as how the municipal budget will compensate for this missing revenue. Here is the econometric model, hypothesis, the basic hypothesis. The simplified profit tax rate on small-medium enterprises affects the level of budget revenues. In this connection, we have considered as an independent variable the profit tax rate, while as a dependent variable the factual budget revenues from this tax. Based on the official data that we have collected, the profit tax rate applied in Albania for small-medium enterprises from 2009 till 2019, and also the revenues from the simplified profit tax of small businesses for this period. Here is the econometric model equation. We have found the connection between these two variables, which is expressed by the respective equation. Here are the data from the econometric model. With an increase of 1% of the tax rate, the factual budget revenues will decrease on 6.16%. This is the main result of the econometric model. It indicates that 57% of the change in annual budget revenues depends on the tax rate. Here are other results of this econometric model. In this way, we confirm the above hypothesis that the simplified profit tax rate for small-medium enterprises affects the level of budget revenues with a strong negative correlation and impact. As a conclusion, referring to the period taken in the study from 2009 till 2019, the revenues collected from the simplified profit tax on small and medium enterprises have decreased. The tax rate of the simplified profit tax for small-medium enterprises during this period has been variable and not a long-term fiscal policy, and this has led to the reduction of revenues collected from this rate. Through our econometric model, we confirmed the hypothesis that the tax rate of the simplified profit tax has a strong negative correlation with the factual budget revenues collected from this tax. If the tax rate increases by 1%, the factual budget revenues will decrease by 6.16%. And this is the main result. of our model and of our study. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a very successful conference.